he's got a heck of a schedule today. He wants to say hello to as many of you as he can, so I'm going to ask him to say a few words first, then have some more time to have a chance to mingle a little bit. He's going from here to Fort Atkinson to Madison. He's better than we've seen. He's better than Milwaukee. So we're so proud and happy to have him here today. I am so excited about the chance just to be here to introduce him, and we're all going to go up and vote early.
Yes.
I don't have my own poster, but I have my own gut. And I can tell you, my gut says it's going our way. Yeah! I can tell you 10 things that have gone terribly wrong in Madison, and I can tell you 10 more things that are going to go even further wrong unless this is our next governor. Yeah. My honor and my privilege to introduce to all of you. I hope for the last time as the next governor. I hope after next Tuesday it's going to be the governor. Yes!
I said I want the best looking people in Janesville, and he succeeded. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. It's great to see you all here. And here we are, essentially 5-6 days away from this historic election. And this is where we are in this together. I want to make this clear. I see my friend Mike Sheridan is here. Obviously having the good senator here. Having all of you here is so important because we are going to make history next Tuesday.
Yes.
I was in Barrett, I was in Marshfield, I was in Green Bay, and we had crowds like this. We are seeing an energized base because people understand what is at stake here. And it is nothing less than the future of this state and who is going to lead this state and what are the values that this state is going to embody. Because we know what Scott Walker's all about. He's about those billionaires and getting those huge checks from outside the state because they want to make this the experimental dish for the far right. That's what they want to do. What they're trying to do has nothing to do with our Wisconsin values. It's all about how they can, the Tea Party, the far right, can shape legislation, shape society, not only in Wisconsin, but throughout this country. And that's what we are going to stop.
That's right!
That was shot right here in Rock County.
Yeah.
Because Scott Walker made it clear. And to me, what was so disturbing about that was on many different fronts. He said his first step was to go after the public workers, which meant, of course, that there were going to be subsequent steps after that. Then he used the big phrase, divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Well, we all know that he has divided this state unlike anything we have seen before, but we are here together to make sure that even though he divided this state, he is not going to conquer the middle class of Wisconsin. Because it talked about what type of person he is, what type of leadership that he espouses. Because when I saw that clip, he said, we're going to use the budget adjustment bill. That's what they were going to use. Think about this for a second. It's a crisis. It's a crisis in Wisconsin. And he decides he is going to use the crisis to divide this state. Now juxtapose that with someone like Franklin Roosevelt. When we had the crisis in this country in the 1930s, he used a crisis to bring this country together. That's real leadership. Right. What Scott Walker's trying to do is take advantage of us when we are most vulnerable, when the state is hurting, so that he can benefit his wealthy billionaire friends from around this country. That's what he tried to do. That's what we are going to stop, and we're going to stop it together. So we all know that his leadership has led this state to have the worst job performance record of any state in the country. And he knew that, and so you know what he decided to do? He didn't decide to address the problem. He brought in his political appointees and said, I can't defend these numbers. Try out some new numbers. before the election. 20 days before the election, and within 4 hours, they've got TV commercials running to support those numbers. And he knew those numbers would never be verified before the election. And even if you accepted those numbers as true, which I don't, even if you accepted them as true, it would mean that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in a remarkable coincidence, made the biggest mistake it had ever made, and it made that mistake 20 days before Scott Walker's election. I don't believe it. I don't think you believe it. I don't think the state buys it for 1 second. So again, truth and integrity. Truth and integrity. Is he telling us the truth? No.
Walker's a liar!
We've got issues with the state's finances, where he said, oh, we're balanced, we're balanced. Well, the state says, no, we're not balanced, we're not balanced. And this is important too. So what does he do? What does he do? He goes out and he pushes debt out into the future so that he can look good politically. That was 100% of the reason why he did that. And as a result of that, our children and our grandchildren are going to have to pay $156 million more in interest just so he can look good in TV commercials. Who is he thinking about? He's thinking about himself. He's not thinking about your kids. Or
Let the revolution begin!
He's thinking about how he can, again, keep this job. But then, of course, the final straw is all of these criminal investigations that are going on right now. He refuses to answer any questions about these criminal investigations. He's had not one, not two, but 3 aides. Aides who work 25 feet from him, with a secret, illegal computer system set up in his own office for campaign fundraising and for political purposes. And he finds out about it, or I don't know when he found out about it, but when it hit the press, what was his reaction? Because this is telling. We've seen one email. Was he angry? Did he say, let's have an investigation? He sent out one email, and the email said, I don't want any more bad stories. Where was the moral outrage when one of his aides had just been arrested for breaking the law? I'm concerned that we have the only governor in this entire country who has his criminal defense fund, his own criminal defense fund. And I'll say to you what I said to a breakfast I had this morning in Milwaukee, because people were kind enough to give me contributions at that breakfast. I will not use a penny of anybody's contributions to create a criminal defense fund. So what do we need to do? We need to have a governor who's going to restore trust to this office. We need to have a governor who's going to bring this state back together. And so instead of pitting neighbors against each other, we're bringing neighbors together. We need a governor who's going to focus on jobs. We're going to make sure that the tax incentives are tied to actual job creation. In this state. That's what I'm interested in. And Scott Walker started this civil war. With your help, on Tuesday, I will end Scott Walker's civil war. We know that he has raised incredible amounts of money. $30 million to $3 million. $30 million to $3 million. Let's be honest. He should be crushing me. He should be crushing me. But he can't get his numbers up. He can't get his numbers up because people know that there's something fundamentally wrong. Wisconsinites are smart. They understand the trust issue. They understand the integrity issue. And time again, when he's at a point where he's going to show his trust and integrity, does he show it to us? We don't see it. We don't see it. And people are concerned by that. They are very concerned about that, and they have a right to be concerned by that. So again, what does he have? He has millions and millions of dollars from out-of-state contributors. What do I have? I have you. That's right! What I need from our side is I need lines of people. Mountains of money versus lines of people. I'll take the people any day of the week. I appreciate the fact that you're voting early, because that means it can free you up to help others get to the polls.
Yes.
Because this is going to be about turnout. This is going to be all about turnout. And I don't care what the polls say today. I don't care what the polls say tomorrow. The only poll that's going to matter from here on in is the poll that we take on June 5th. and it's going to be about who we get out to vote. And so our charge, your charge, because this is about us, we're in this together, is that we have to do everything we can to get people to vote. So I want to thank all of you for being here. We've got a lot of work to do. We're going to get this done. We're going to reclaim our state, and we are going to move Wisconsin forward. Let's go get them.